Largest lead of the game for Georgia. And it rolls home on the answer for Anthony McLemore.
Good job by McLemore screening and rolling to the rim, though.
McLemore had that terrible leg injury last year against South Carolina, compound fracture when he broke his ankle. He was an above-the-square player last year. Will that kind of explosiveness return after an injury like that?
It takes time. I mean, if it ever does, it does take time. And I think for him right now, you're still building confidence. You know, when you have an injury like that, there's a mental and a physical aspect to it, Tom. And I think he's playing well. Do I think he's playing as well as he did a year ago? No, I don't. In particular, he was such a great shot blocker a season ago. I think that's an area where he's going to continue to improve. But you also have to remember that when he goes out, all of a sudden there's new roles. There's new players that have stepped into roles, and sometimes your role also shifts and changes.
6 in school history and blocks. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. I will say this for Anthony McLemore. If basketball doesn't work out long term, I think he'll be okay. He got a 1670 on the SAT.
That's good.
He was accepted to MIT, considered Yale and Brown and Stanford and Georgia Tech. Georgia had the lead. It's whittled down to 2. Bryce Brown doing it from the interior instead of outside.
Well, both teams shooting over 60%. It's about which one's going to lock up. Which one's going to start playing the kind of defense that both their coaches are asking them to make. And Auburn's made 6 of 7. Georgia's made 7 of the last 9.
I don't know if they're interested in doing that. Shot clock is at 6. Ogbede. Look at that. Hammonds flies in, and McLemore says, I still got the hops. Another rejection. Brown, finger roll. And Auburn is tied it at 28. Ogbede. McLemore's defense, the difference the last 2 trips. Dowdy takes Ogbede inside. And Willridge lost a handle on it. It will stay this direction.
Look, I just mentioned you need to have sustained stops. How many stops can you get in a row? Because whichever team is going to do that, you can find some rhythm. Comes off of a block, open court situation. This is where Bryce Brown has really grown as a basketball player. His ability to have great body control, feel where the defense is, and be able to finish.
McLemore just had to oil his springs. They still work. Turtle Jackson back in. Crump takes a seat. Bryce Brown without a 3 here early on for Auburn.
And if I'm an Auburn fan, I'm excited about it. I mean, after the volume of shots he's taken 29 threes in the last 2 games. How about McLemore? Tommy, you're talking about what kind of player can he be? He's a guy that is necessary for Auburn to have the kind of success it had a season ago. And that's the success that brings home a conference championship. You need somebody else underneath besides Wiley Okeke to be able to finish and be strong. And while McLemore can shoot the 3-point shot, I feel getting down low, getting his slow center of gravity, having his base underneath him allows him to finish and be strong.
143 career blocks, 5th at Auburn. Barkley's next up. He had 145 in his time.
Good call. You love the pressure defense, but you've got to be able to play and move without getting your body into them. A long way to go in this first half. 8 minutes and 11 seconds, and you're going to have free throws the rest of the way for the Georgia Bulldogs. So that's, to me, this is where if you're Tom Crean, you crank it up a little bit more. Hey, we're going to be aggressive. I don't want to settle in. We're not a great 3-point shooting team, and Georgia is not a great 3-point shooting team. They're much better inside the arc than they are outside of it. Because of that, they could apply pressure that way. Get you into foul trouble.
Turtle Jackson, 79% from the line on the year. He's earned a second one. Senior out of Athens Christian High School right there in the Classic City. Knocked them both down. George has already been to the free throw line 8 times tonight.
Jackson off to a good start. He only has one 10-plus point game on the season, and he's got 7 already.
Harper.
McLemore again. His activity, Tom, away from the ball, whether it's defensively or offensively. I love how he's moving right now.
Claxton, like you said before, running the point. He's 6'11", and he's running the point. Rayshawn Hammonds. 7 on the shot clock, a forced 3. And we've got Georgia basketball after the timeout. And at that point, Sean's going to illustrate just how important this home court advantage is for Bruce Pearl's Auburn Tigers.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
This season marks nearly 85 years of SEC tradition. At Johnsonville, we respect heritage. We've been making premium sausage since 1945. We're heading back to SEC country to earn our fans. On every campus, at every tailgate, every big game, all the way to the championship. Get fired up for game day, made the Johnsonville way.
Welcome you back to the Plains, where Auburn has taken a 3-point lead over the Georgia Bulldogs. And you think about home court advantages in the SEC. Obviously, Kentucky comes to mind with Rupp Arena. It's 22,000 plus on a consistent basis. It's allowed Coach Calipari to have a ton of success. And then you go think about a little Woo Pig Sooie, the hog of the glory days of Arkansas, the traditional chants that you hear when you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's a special, unique environment. But you can't forget about the Rowdy Reptiles, the laser and the video shows in which they have. But when you talk about the new king of the SEC and the fans, you have to obviously go immediately to the sellout crowd that you have here in Auburn, because these fans are saying War Eagle on a consistent basis. In the past 2 years, it's been about the Auburn Tigers and Bruce Pearl. Only one home loss. They're looking to protect it today. And Tommy, you want to win a conference championship, you got to be able to win at home. My guy Nick, by the way, here says he's a management major. It took him 27 seconds to come up with that. I don't think he's really managing anything.
Hey, Sean, true or false, Kid Rock is his dad. You can stay up there if you want. You don't have to come back. Sean, you going to stay up there or are you going to come back? Hey, thanks for coming back. I kind of thought you could stay up there, hang out with Kid Rock.
I didn't want his makeup on my jacket. I mean, did you see my guy Nick?
I'm wearing just as much makeup as he is.
First of all, I asked him what year he was. It took him like 3 or 4 seconds. He said senior, which tends to make me believe that he graduated or did not graduate 3 or 4 years ago.
I'm going to go with the latter.
He's a good guy, though. Man, I tell you what, though, Bruce Pearl and what he's done, the energy in this building, it's been fantastic. I mean, this place, and they redid the whole place, the arena, but to cultivate the passion from the fans, that is a byproduct of your coach being able to reach them, right?
Well, you've got to sell. You've got to get out there and make personal connections. Like ribbon board in here a couple years ago. Yeah, you got to convince Nick to come to the game.
Well, you want to go stand up next to Nick?
I'd be willing to go stand next to Nick. My friends in the upper deck at Rupp Arena might think I'm cheating.
That's probably true. They won't let you back into Tony's.
Right. They always let me in there. Bryce Brown slices his way in. Sean, he thought about the 3. They had it defended. He was able to get to the rack. Rayshawn Hammonds, nope. And he got fouled after sticking with it.
I mentioned the numbers. Inside the SEC, this place has been as difficult to find a win if you're a road team. The only team to knock them off, actually Billy Kennedy's team. It was with Robert Williams and Tyler Davis. They were able to utilize their size and find a way to get a victory here. That's the only team since the start of the 2017-18 season. Mississippi State, you update that. They're at 27-3. They took a loss today at home to Ole Miss.
Starkville High School graduate got the win there. His first time. Kermit Davis is a Mississippi State grad, and he's able to take the Rebels into his hometown and get a win.
Yeah, think about Ole Miss, right? They beat Auburn the other night. That's a top 25 win. First one they had since 2015. Then they just beat another top 25 team for back-to-back top 25 wins. You know the last time they were able to accomplish that?
You'll tell me?
Yes, I will. 2013. They beat Florida, which was number 13 in the SEC title game. And in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, they knocked off number 18 Wisconsin.
That was when Marshall Henderson was playing. We know how fond the Auburn fans of him. There's McLemore going above the rim.
How about this? When's the last time Ole Miss did it in the regular season?
Gonna guess it's gonna be well before 2013.
2003. They knocked off LSU and Alabama.
Anthony McLemore heard that some people thought he couldn't get up anymore. This is getting up.
And great job, great screen, good pass. Harper's ability to find his teammates and deliver the pass on target. Look at that. I mean, that is a picture-perfect lob. Athleticism to go up and finish and electrify the crowd behind us.
Georgia turns it over, but it's a dead ball turnover, and that's been a key for them. That's their 6th turnover of the game. Auburn spent a lot of time working against Georgia's 2-3 zone in their shoot-around today. Dowdy from a deep little sidewinder that time. High ball screen coming. And Georgia forced to operate their offense 35 feet from the basket. Here's Crump. Push off. And they caught him.
That's just forcing the issue a little bit too much now. This is not a great Georgia team at creating off the bounce. So you have to move the basketball. You have to share it, get it zipping, set screens. You have to move without the basketball to get to the open spot and force the defense to have to shift and change sides. If you're looking at a straight line drive with this team, it's not the strength.
Rayshawn Hammond's back on the floor. He's got 5. Tom Crean's got some bounce to him, doesn't he? I mean, that was a very caffeinated shoot around this morning for Georgia early in the morning.
And they got after it about 8:30 this morning, and I wrote down this is not a shoot around. This is a building practice.
Yeah.
And what that means for me is that you're so focused on the long-term goals of where you want your program to be that you're utilizing every ounce and every second you have to continue to plant in the pieces that are going to make you successful long-term.
Oh, so building, not building, like within the building. You're talking about building from the ground up.
Exactly. Very good, Tom. You're following along. That's good.
With you. Here's Hammonds, but an offensive foul before that on the drive from Hightower. It's a different shoot-around for Tom Crean in Georgia. They didn't go through any of the scouting report that they would use. They decided to do that back at the hotel. Super Tuesday coming your way. SEC-ACC doubleheader at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. It'll be a sellout at Segment Coliseum. Georgia welcomes Kentucky. Then at 9, Jordan Cornett's Notre Dame Fighting Irish face off with number 12 North Carolina. Both games on the ESPN app. North Carolina, by the way, lost to Louisville today. It was their first loss to an unranked team by 20 points or more in the history of the Dean Smith Center. It opened in 1986, and only the 4th time total that happened.
You know the most telling stat to me looking at that Carolina game is that Louisville was plus 10 on the glass. I mean, it is very rare for North Carolina to get out rebounded in double figures at home in particular. This is usually one of the best rebounding teams in the country, in particular second chance points.
Jared Harper at the free throw line. He's got another one coming with the bonus.
Part of the reason why they struggled in the rebounding department, Tom, Louisville shot 53% from the field and 42% from beyond the arc.
By the way, that was the second personal of Rayshawn Hammonds. He and Ogbede, 2 starters, each with 2 fouls here in the first half. Auburn 3 of 3 from the line this afternoon. Why'd you pick that one guy out of the crowd? He was wearing a fur. Not sure it was real, but he was wearing a fur.
I watched the WWE, and Jeff Hardy wears a lot of face paint, and he's one of my kids' favorite wrestlers. So I figured that guy's got a lot of face paint on.
Gerald Jackson can't knock it down. McLemore out to Harper. 3 straight Georgia turnovers. Dowdy Gives it right back.
You remember the Hardy Boys, don't you?
I do, of course. Partial to the Hart brothers. Like Brett the Hitman, and Claxton slices in.
Great ball movement, though. You see that time, it's not beating you off the bounce. It's moving the ball, shifting the defense, being ready to catch it and finish. Claxton, a great job. He's now in double figures.
Ignas Sargunas has entered the game for Georgia. Top line of that zone defense. McLemore. Finally, Georgia gets it. Auburn gets it to go in. And Auburn's opened up an 8-point lead.
Auburn's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the SEC.
They're a fantastic offensive rebounding team.
Not great at the defense.
Yeah. What does that tell you about a team?
Well, they want to score.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the shot goes up and they see it as gold.
Hightower, forced triple.
Not a good possession.
Number 11, Auburn leads Georgia by 8 here in the first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Voya Financial, helping you to and through retirement. Learn more at Voya.com.
Now that I've got you here for a minute, or two actually, I've got to tell you something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase, every day.
My credit card only earns double miles on airline purchases.
Well, you earn double miles on this and on everything with the Venture Card.
Thanks. Hey, by the way, how'd you get in here?
Same way you did. Cross-checking.
Nice.
What's in your wallet? Oh, come on!
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy.
Yeah!
Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
I talked to Tom Crean. He's very disappointed you didn't send the nachos down from his time that he spent up in Bristol. What was it about the nachos, Cotter?
Tom Crean really appreciated his time. Don't want to brag too much on our boss, but not only enjoyed his time working at ESPN, but like a lot of smart coaches, when you go into broadcasting for a year, it's an opportunity not just to hit the reset button and refresh your mind, but to go through a year of graduate school training, because you get to walk into arenas and talk to coaches and observe practices, places you may have never been before. And it can either give you brand new ideas or it can reinforce the ideas that you already have about how to run a program. Offensive yes! And a putback. McLemore has springs today.
He takes him to another level when he plays like this, Tom, because then it's not just about the guards on the outside.
14 second chance points for Auburn. Turtle Jackson turns it into a 10-footer and missed it.
He took a 2-foot and took it into a 10-foot. I think he should have stuck with the 2.
Transition 3.
Fun game here, though.
Quick one for Sargunas. He's not going to hesitate. Freshman from Lithuania. Look at Bryce Brown. Look at Bryce Brown.
I mentioned 29 three-pointers attempted the last 2 games. That's his first of the afternoon. He's been very patient in his shot selection.
Georgia forcing a bad shot selection on the other side. Brown lost his footing. Jared Harper in shoot-around today was the first to answer every Bruce Pearl question about where to go on a certain play and how to translate that into the next set of plays. Brown blocked by Claxton. At one point, Pearl said, hey, listen, I appreciate Jared, but can someone else please answer these questions? Wilridge moves it, gets it back. Another miss from deep for Georgia. not their strength. They're 4 of 12 from behind the arc. Here's Harper. Claxton got another block. And that is off of Auburn. They're going to say Georgia basketball. Anthony McLemore coming back from a broken leg.
Just fantastic, his ability to create, how aggressive he has been here in the first half, Tom. That's what stood out to me more than anything.
Auburn leads by 10. We got a quick timeout here on the Plains. Back in a moment.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Did the little piggy cry wee, wee, wee all the way home?
Max. Maxwell.
Yeah?
You're home.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Mrs. A.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Auburn has a 10-point lead on Georgia as the Tigers look to bounce back from their lone conference loss of the season. 19 seconds on the shot clock coming out of the timeout. How does Auburn, Sean, look different today than they did Wednesday at Ole Miss?
Well, they're moving the ball around more, and they're more aggressive at the offensive end of the floor as far as not being stagnant, not just passing the ball and looking. What they're doing instead is they're moving, they're cutting, they're spacing the floor. Bryce Brown, again, I mentioned, not settling for one pass, three-point shot. When you force the defense to have to play multiple sides of the court in a possession, you're going to find a good look.
15 twos for Auburn today in this first half. They only had 8 twos on Wednesday. Shot clock at 5. Harper has it rejected. Another block for Georgia. Harper gets it back and fires. Beat the shot clock, but couldn't finish. Harris will push. Lost his balance. He got blocked by McLemore, and Harris holding his right knee. Right in front of you. He went down awkwardly. Looked like his ankle turned on the way up.
Yeah, you're watching the dribble come straight at me from where I'm at. And as the ball came down the court, you just see the defensive rotation. And that's where McLemore is a difference maker, Tom, for this Auburn Tigers team, is when you cut over from the help side off the ball position and rotate over in transition and block a shot like that. That level of athleticism, that rim protecting helps, especially when you're talking about an Auburn Tigers team that can defend so well and pressure the ball out on the perimeter.
Anthony McLemore, the junior from Warwick, Georgia, did not score in the loss to Ole Miss on Wednesday. He's already got 11 with 4 boards and 2 blocks today. Fantastic outing.
You know, we talk so much, Tom, about environments in college football. Touching the rock at Clemson, enter Sandman at Virginia Tech. Look around at this place. Look at these students. Look how much fun they're having being part of what's going on here at Auburn. I mean, isn't that part of the fun of what we get to do?
Well, I was talking to a kid today who used to sit behind us all the time. He graduated. He's so mad he graduated because he can't sit in the student section anymore.
Well, you could just be like Nick and lie.
Yeah, or never graduate. Game clock at 4. Claxton's got to put it up. He'll turn at 6:11. And an air ball. And that's how the first half will end. Georgia makes just 3 of their last 14 field goal attempts. And Bruce Pearl's Auburn team has a 10-point lead at the break here at Auburn Arena. Pearl's got to be happy with this. I know Nick is. He's standing by with Sean Farnham.
All right, Coach. The other night against Ole Miss, you really struggled inside the arc. Much more efficient inside the arc. How much of a point of emphasis was that for you, and how proud are you?
I'm proud of it, Sean, but we got 48 points to the board, and they got 38. We got to do a better job defensively. But you're right, I thought we executed better. I thought we came down every time. Probably gave you the chance to go, well, that had purpose. That was well executed. There's some thought put in there, and give Ole Miss credit, and give our kids credit for bouncing back.
Anthony McLemore in particular, obviously we talk about the injury from a year ago, but his spring looks back for him today. How important of his role for this team?
Sean, he's vital. Look, when you go through a gruesome injury like you did a year ago, do you have the confidence to elevate and leave your feet and know that you're going to be able to come back down and not break your leg? But we need his effort, energy. I thought the bench did a really good job for us. Georgia's a good basketball team, 20 minutes.
All right, Coach, go get him in the locker room. All right, Tom, back to you.
All right, thanks. Hey, you know, it's a first half that Jordan Cornette would love. He once had a double-double at Notre Dame without reaching double figures of points. He had a double-double in rebounds and blocks. He's standing by with Chris Conner. Let's go back to the studio.
Have a 22-8 advantage off the bench, and a lot of that obviously is coming from McLemore, who's came in the game averaging 6 points per game.
Bench has been fantastic for Auburn all season. They've outscored the opponent's bench by 10 points on average. Georgia basketball to start the second half. Pressure defense by Auburn and a near steal from Chuma Okeke.
You gotta come back and meet the pass. You can't just run laterally. That's a very tough pass to try to complete.
Rayshawn Hammonds will try it again. Here's Claxton, 6'11". Maybe one of the most versatile players in the SEC. Here's Claxton on the curl.
Tom, he moves so smoothly for a player that size. And he comes off of a screen away after handling the ball, curling it into the paint. It's a good hold. Back to this possession there. Watch Claxton. He delivers the ball. He goes down, comes off the screen, curls it beautifully, shields and protects. Doesn't feel like he's got to try to dunk it. Sometimes there's guys that try to dunk those shots and they miss it because their spacing's off a little bit. And he's just in great composure and control.
We have a new front court mate now. Already 26 seconds into the half, Derek Ogbede just committed his third personal foul. So Etorian Wilridge will replace him. There's Brown off of the screen. And Wiley crashing the glass. Got Hightower with the reach in.
That's just the strength of Wiley ripping that one away. Claxton wanted to get the jump ball. Wiley limited in the first half due to foul trouble. Tom, he only played 6 minutes. And I think when people often ask me, they say, okay, so is Auburn for real? Yeah, of course they're for real. Did you not watch last season? Yeah, okay, so they lost a game at Ole Miss. How's Ole Miss looking today? They go in and win at a place like Mississippi State. So they're a lot better than people thought. Okay. They lost to North Carolina State. Well, North Carolina State's pretty good.
Lost one game in Maui.
I mean, this is a really, really good Auburn basketball team. For them to take that next step, it is going to be about the guys in the interior. It's going to be about Wiley. It's going to be about Okeke. And it's going to be about McLemore. Because you know what you can consistently expect to get from the guys on the perimeter. Defensively, being disruptive, manufacturing points off of turnovers. But you need production from those guys inside. And it needs to be consistent. You can't have foul trouble if you're Austin Wiley and you're playing in the NCAA tournament.
You mentioned Ole Miss, surprise team in the SEC at 3-0 now as Turtle Jackson hits a three. South Carolina is also off to a surprise start. They're 2-0. They were supposed to play Missouri today, but due to the state of Missouri getting walloped by a snowstorm, over a foot in the backyards of Columbia, Missouri, the Tigers charter company was unable to come pick them up. They couldn't make it to South Carolina. They'll play tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Columbia. Wiley off the window. Austin Wiley taking advantage of the minutes on the floor in the second half.
Not a great shot from Brown on the outside. Too much dribbling to take that shot, but Wiley still just muscling and working his way underneath. And this is why I say, look, you want to be a Final Four team? You want to go to the Elite Eight? Austin Wiley is going to have to play a major role for Auburn to get there. And you see these glimpses where he came out. Where he came out in the first half, he played well, but just got 2 offensive fouls. Comes out in the second half, he's playing free, he's playing aggressive, and once again, he's dominating the game.
Bruce Pearl's wish, there's a flyaway jam by Hightower. Pearl's wish when it came to Austin Wiley was for him to be able to play through contact. And he's done a nice job of doing that today. Dowdy working on Rayshawn Hammonds. Wilridge got his hands on it, strips it away, and then Okiki got whistled for his third on a reach-in.
Now, I'm not sure it was a foul. Okay, but when you reach across the front of the offensive player, a good job poking it away. Watch, now as he comes across here, is this a foul? Probably not. But the official's looking at that arm extending in front of an offensive player going towards their basket, and it's an anticipatory call.
So Kiki will take a seat, so will Wiley. Spencer back in, and so is the high-rising Anthony McLemore. Auburn has really extended their half-court defense since the break.
So what Bruce tell me going to the halftime is that, hey, we scored 48 points, but we gave up too many points.
Samir Dowdy got a couple of bumps in the open floor. Hammonds is really close to getting teed up. Two great big Monday games for you this week on ESPN. Zion Williamson, #1 Duke, play host to the Orange in Durham. Then at 9, it's Texas and 7th-ranked Kansas from Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas with a 10-point lead at Baylor right now. Both games also, as always, live on the ESPN app. We'll wait and see if Zion Williamson returns to action. He got poked in the eye and missed the second half today.
Well,
Duke's escape in Tallahassee.
Well, and what you saw is just how talented Duke really is. Okay, without Zion Williamson, you got a good look at R.J. Barrett. How'd that look today?
30 points, good?
Yeah, pretty good. How did Cam Reddish look?
Good. Dowdy for 3. He's got 8.
How does Auburn look right now? Really good.
Maybe top 10 good.
Miscommunication defensively that time. They just lost Hightower. Do you know how to spell good? I was watching your Twitter feed yesterday, Tommy. You were live tweeting your son Andrew, who did a great job, by the way. You were live tweeting the spelling bee.
Yeah, fifth grade. Who knew a 5th grade spelling bee could be that exciting?
Do you know that there's been 20 people that have come up and talked about that spelling bee to you today? I mean, people at home need to understand. It's a must follow.
Here's Harper with the left hand. It goes back to personal experience. Everybody knows when they got knocked out of their elementary school spelling bee and the word they missed. For me, it was cemetery. I thought there was an A at the end. I'm still blaming it on a roadside back home. So away, Bryce Brown. Brown steps through it, reverses. Wilridge didn't chase the loose ball. Now he gets it. And Georgia's got numbers the other way. Hightower for 3. Shots just not going for Georgia. On the other side, Dowdy, lob. McLemore has time to gather. He's got a baker's dozen. Nothing working for Georgia. Harper from behind the screen. Got it! Big 3, Jared Harper. Timeout, Tom Crean.
Do you know how to spell elite level guard? H-A-R-P-E-R. High advance.
ESPN's